Hey guys, what's up? Jeff here with Moosehead Studios, and it is now time to reveal a full video and detailed tour of my newly renovated studio. This is a month or so in the process of making and doing. So without further ado, let's go check it out. All right. Well, the door hasn't changed. I'm gonna put a new handle on it. All right, let's go in here, and here we are. All right. Do a quick 360 and we'll go into details here in a minute. So first thing off the bat is the wall color. It is this rustic orange called Tiki Torch or Tiki Orange from Home Depot. Well, that's where I got the paint at least. My good friend Chris Greenwood recommended this color, so I went away with the gray and black and blue and random colors the studio had, and went with this very, very cool, warming, inviting, creative orange. I couldn't be happier. Absolutely love the color. Another thing I did was reroute the string lights. They're originally following the seam where the slant meets the top of the ceiling there. I rerouted them. So in the cubby, and then up and around the alcove here, and off the sides, and it's the same thing over here, and then up and over the door here. So that's that. I did away with, that's a little bright there. I did away with the t-shirts up top and put panels up, foam panels up instead. I'm doing something else with the t-shirts. I did put foam panels back along the walls. The main one over the drums is still there. So yeah, that hasn't changed. The lights themselves are smart LED bulbs. I can change the dimming of the lights. I'm not gonna shine the camera up there because it's too bright. I can change the color, the brightness. So if we want to chill like blue vibe or something like that, we can definitely do that here now, which is really nice. Moved a bunch of stuff around too. Shifted the drums to the right, and I also eliminated the foam pad underneath. It was just unnecessary, so they just sit on the carpet. I moved my Dream Theater shrine, you want to call it, just over here to the side, so everything that's more or less Dream Theater related lives here. My autographs and pictures and my experiences and stuff all here. And then instead of having the crates mounted to the wall, I just put an actual shelf up, so that holds some books, some manuals, and there's a shelf underneath there that's going to hold like stands, mic stands, any stands that I use in studio. I can just put them there rather than just on the floor. And then I'm going to kind of weed out what I do and don't use, and then I'll just store what I don't use ever or partial stands in another area. So I got to go through this bucket here. Let's see here. One of our access panels here. The drum ones is there. And the snake is obviously running to the main desk. We've got to get our Banninger X32. Recently fixed. It was a loose cable that was causing it to freak out, so that got fixed. Got our Samsung laptop here, which has been maxed out with both RAM and a solid state hard drive. That's got our DAW program Cakewalk, and all our music's on there, so that's our mixing, or that's our laptop that does everything. We have our M Audio BX8 monitors, and then we have a set of Alesis Elevate 3 monitors, reference monitors on the top. And then we have our interface, our Focusrite, if we want to do some small stuff. And then the Ultra DI Pro is for band practice. Over here we have our monitor control, and then we have my in-ear monitor transmitter. So that lives there, and keyboard, mouse is here, and nice desk. So that does the job. More panels up top here. And instead of having one of those lights, which I do have over here where the guitars are, I like it over there, I ended up putting a workshop light. The pull string right here. I kind of like it how it illuminates the area a little bit better little bit more even. So I did that. See here, some more pictures. It's with me and Mr. Todd Schuckerman of Styx. My acceptance into honors band back when I was in high school. And yeah, I got my pad, my gaming chair, my comfy gaming chair here, and some more manuals and stuff on the bottom there. I got a compressor there that I sometimes use. That's my buddy's actually. And all my power stuff's there on the left. Studio's a little bit of a mess still. I'm still doing some stuff, so I got some tools out and everything. But on the right, I put all my awards and achievements and little thingies that I got here on this little shelf. This actually is my wife's shelf she gave me. I could use it. And then we have all our guitar cables that live here. And again, more foam. And this is where I keep my Sons of Apollo posters. And then over here in the corner is that that Yamaha drum set I found for free on Craigslist that lives here in the corner for now. We have another panel here. And we enter Guitar World, and I felt it was appropriate to have a poster of John Petrucci in this area. And then, see, we got Mandy's Fender guitar here. We have this very strange thing she got me from Japan. It's like it's like a music, almost like a theremin, but it's like a touch pad thing. It's very strange. But anyways, I got that hanging out here. Then you got my 6-string bass, which was a gift. Oh, it was a set that you put it together and paint it yourself from my wife for Christmas this past year. So that's there. Just got recently had it set up. And then we have a 6-string electric guitar. Again, it was a kit I put together. I painted it, but it's not quite set up at the moment. And then here we have our keyboard, our Casio keyboard. It's been part of my life for some time. So that's here. Some more paneling. I upgraded all the electrical outlets. I put new faceplates on all of them. So switch there, and a couple of the other electrical outlets have new faceplates. We have an additional power strip here for the keyboard and for the rope light, for the string lights, I should say. And then we have a Cat 5 cable coming out here. That's going to be for some ins and outs going to the house. And then move on. These are from my dad. He found these in Arkansas. So these are little coat hangers. Absolutely love them. So I put them here. Very, very important. Unplug Wi-Fi router, which is right over there. The little white gizmo right there. Because that's how I get internet out here in the studio. And we got our door with our chart. Decided to leave this Dream Theater bandana here on the door just because I liked where it was and didn't really feel like moving it. So it still lives there. And on the right side here of the door, we have Headphone Land, as well as my good friend Michael Abdow's autographed poster from his latest album. Very, very talented guitar player. And also he plays with Fate's Warning, as well as the local cover band Aquanet. So that's proudly displayed here. Anyways, you got about a dozen or so headphones, all different types. And then we have headphone extension cables down here. And then off to the right side here, this is where I keep my rechargeable batteries on this little shelf here. My AA's and 9-volt for whatever I need for my in-ear monitor packs and whatever else. So that lives there. Moving on to the right. Gotta clean this up a little bit more, but this is where I currently am storing my electronic drum set. So that sits here. And then, again, I gotta kind of clean up some of the stuff, but this shelf unit was originally over here. I since moved everything to one side. I just like how it's a little bit more organized in that aspect. So all my extra mics, condensers, dynamics, handhelds, it's all here. Tape, any tools and hardware I need, cleaning supplies, Ozium, disinfectant wipes, toilet paper, various stuff here, bass drum parts, headphone cables, other headphone cables, memory locks, drum keys, wing nuts, foam cables, and then under here I got my snare drums, a couple additional snare drums there, and then some other cases and other things are kept underneath there. Extra drum heads are kept on the bottom. And then over here is this rack was in my basement. really wasn't doing much, so I took it up here and took 2/3 of it. So this is serving a very, very good purpose for more storage. More hardware, parts, batteries, all the audio adapters you could ever need. Miscellaneous stuff here. This is for guitar accessories, straps, picks, whatever. We got our food bin, candy, soda, whatever else. And miscellaneous dollar store containers. This is like miscellaneous cables, 1/4-inch cables, short XLRs, mic stand parts, and DI boxes and whatever else I need there. And moving on to the right is XLR cables here for the studio. So we got about 10 of them here. All my power stuff is kept there, more cases. I gotta hang up these foam panels still. I just haven't really quite found a home for them yet. And then got some more posters. We got Mr. Mike Mangini over here. And then Zorro, an old poster I happen to have here. And then moving on to the right side is basically any kind of production or anything that I've been a part of, past or present. I'm going to prominently display here on this side. So still got a lot of wall space. They got my band, the Archangels Band. This is one of our older bass drum heads. We went with a different color, so this now lives here in the studio. And an autographed drum head autographed by a bunch of bands. This is, you got Chevelle on here, Trap, Strata, a bunch of other bands signed it. So yeah, that sits here, and then you got the main course. You got my drums, known as Cheesecake. I'm gonna go into a detailed thing about this in a minute here. So I'm just gonna continue on. Got our air conditioner. Got some paneling, foam panels right behind the drums. And you got my little side tables here. I really don't use this too much. It's just kind of keep random crap in here. But the cheese slice inspired by the Drum Butler and or Drum Waiter by Kentville Drums. This is inspired by that. Instead of being rectangular or circular, I made mine into a slice of cheese. Hence the name of my drums, known as Cheesecake. Very, very useful tool. I got a couple drink holders, in-ear monitor pack, a little pouch here, drum key. Keep my in-ears right here in this little pouch. Holds my stick bag, and then this will hold the iPad to control the X32. This holds my phone in case I'm jamming out to drumless tracks or whatever. So, alright, let's get into this. So, a couple things have changed, but I'll make this all brand new for those who are watching this first time. So this is known as Cheesecake. This is a Sound Percussion Labs drum set. This setup is actually long discontinued. At least for the last 5 years it's been discontinued. That's maybe not so well long, but you get the point. It is a birch shell all around. The thing that's been discontinued, though, other than just, well, they still make birch and maple drums now, but it's the mount. They don't make suspension mounts anymore. They are direct in mounts, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that's okay. So these are all suspension mounts. So they originally had a black wrap on it. Did a couple gigs out in the sun. Black wrap was bubbling. It looked like crap. So stripped it and refinished it to what you see now. So it looks like a burnt piece of wood. Looks like a burnt cheesecake to me. So that's why I gave it the name as such. And my little table there, the slice of cheese, is burnt to match the drums to an extent. So we got two 22-inch kicks right off the front, and then our tom sizes are as follows. We have an 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16, and a 13-inch on the left, and a 14-inch snare right in the dead center there. We use mostly, combination of Evans and Remo heads. I'm using Evans heads on the toms. We have the EC2 Frosteds and G1s on the tops and bottoms. For the bass drums, we're using Remo Power Stroke 3s and single ply Emperors on the front. And then for the snare drum, we're using a reverse stock controlled sound on the top, standard snare hazy on the bottom. Hardware is a mixed bag. Straight up, the pedals are two first-generation Tama Speed Cobras. I'm sorry, and we have a stock sound percussion hi-hat stand with the legs removed. I sit on a rock and sock hydraulic drum tone with backrest. Let's see here. Cymbals are 90% Sabian. Let's see. We have Sabian SBR. 16-inch crash here. I drilled holes in it to kind of make it more of an ozone, raw-sounding cymbal. We have probably my favorite set of hi-hats, the XSR 14-inch hats. We have Mike Portnoy Signature Max Splash 9-inch. We have a XSR 18-inch fast crash. We have a B8 Pro 8-inch splash. And this is where the 90% comes in. We have some other brands. We have a Meinel HCS bell here. And then probably one of my favorite crashes here, the AAX Concept 16-inch crash. That was last year's model. This year's model is being released soon, so I'm looking forward to getting that. And then we have Mike Portnoy mid max stacks here. And then we have a discontinued ProSonics 20-inch ride. And then we have another Sabian SBR China with, again, some holes cut in it to make it a little bit more raw sounding. And then we have a set of SBR 13-inch hats as my auxiliary hats on the right. And then we have, again, Meinel HCS stacks. And then we have a B8 14-inch crash and a B8 10-inch crash here. And then as for actual stands and stuff, hardware, we have an off-brand rack that's holding most of it in place. It was only a 3-sided rack, and I kind of jerry-rigged the left side here with some steel conduit, but I am going to eventually replace it with chrome pipe. But that's there. We have miscellaneous hardware, again, sound percussion, Gibraltar. We got some Tama stuff in here. We got Pearl hardware. We got Gibraltar. Let's see, there's a Tama here. There's a Pearl here. So a little bit of a mixed bag. So whatever, it works. This is kind of an interesting setup. So to get this far away enough for me to access it, because it was too close with this clamp, I had to double it up with a mic stand clamp and extend it outwards so that way it wouldn't hit this pipe here. So just a little ingenuity there. Let's see here. For percussion, not much. I just have a Latin percussion tambourine on the left side. Sometimes I'll add a cowbell or a granite block on the right. So that's that. I use Mike Portnoy's signature drumsticks, the MP420 by ProMark. I also wrap my sticks. As you can see, one wrap is shorter than the other. That's just the way I wrap my sticks. Left side is a shorter one, right side is a longer one. And I have 2 stick holders. The left side holds my left sticks. The right one holds my right, with a couple homemade stick holders, which I learned from David R. off of YouTube. So thank you, David. Well, I'll talk about my snare drum here for a second. It's a little more unique than just a stock snare drum. So first off, it's got a die-cast tube on the top and a triple flanged on the bottom. So the Stuart Copeland snare drum from Tama Drums is basically similar, but it's a I believe it's a brass shell. So this is obviously a birch shell. So I got a die-cast tube on top, triple flange on the bottom. And then a more recent upgrade was the snare throw-off. This is the Mike Portnoy 3-way snare throw-off, because I definitely love the concept of it, and someone was selling it as a part, because they put a different snare throw-off on their Mike Portnoy snare drum, and I got the snare throw from him. So it's now mounted on the drum. So you got off, got a loose setting, and then you got a tight setting. So I love that concept there. And that is it for the drums. And then on to mics. Again, I use a mixed bag of microphones. In the process streamlining my mic setup a little bit more, but right now it works. So up top I have two Samson CO2 pencil condensers, which are mounted to the rack. I got those clamps you could put on the top of a rack and put a piece of hardware there. So I got them mounted here on both sides of the rack. So those are holding my overhead mics. And then we have a Samson kick mic for the 16-inch. And then we have my old kick drum mics on the 14 and 13-inch. They're just some cheap kick drum mics. I didn't really like the way they sounded, so I ended up doing away with them, and I got better kick drum mics. So those are on the low toms, and then on the high toms we have a 80 on the 12, a CAD on the 10, and another 80 on the 8. And then on the 50, the snare drum is probably the most newest thing. I got myself an Audex i5, and I'm falling more and more and more in love with Audex microphones. They really are superior mics for drums. So I got an i5 on the top. I have a stock 57 on the bottom, SM57. And then on the hi-hats and underneath the ride there, I have two CAD micro pencil condensers for the hats and the ride, the secondary set of hats. Then, if we go around to the front, for the bass drums, we have two mics. We have my homemade sub kicks, are both equipped with a Pioneer car speaker. And again, those are mounted right to the rack. And then we have our internally mounted bass drum mics, which is a, I don't even know how to say it. I forgot the name brand of it, but they're an emulation of a Shure kick drum mic, but they're just cheaper, lower end mics, but they do the job. So the combination between that and the sub kick really gives me a nice sound. I am using a Simon Phillips muffling technique with a rolled up towel gaff taped to both the front and the back head, and with a piece of foam and a 5-pound little sand weight to get some mass, and that gives me my kick drum sound. I don't use any muffling on the toms at all. If I do, I have some drum dots I can use here. On the snare drum, I just use a couple pieces of gaff tape and some little bit of gunk there, and that gives me a good sound there. So that's that for the drums. Let's see, what else can I show you guys? Well, we're going on 20-something minutes now, so if you stuck with me this far, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I don't really have much else to show you, so I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the studio. And believe me, it now feels more like home. Because again, when I first bought this place and it was the color it didn't feel like it was really mine. Just that weird feeling. But now that I did this, it feels a lot more like mine. Oh, that's right, I did forget to mention something. So, a couple things I want to mention. First off, my in-ears. My in-ear monitor pack is made by Phoenix Audio. Highly recommend them. They make a damn good product for a fraction of what other high-end in-monitor systems cost. Definitely check them out. But my in-ears are what's something special to me. So these are made by Alien Ears out in Florida. They took my KZ universal inner monitors and put them in custom molded shells. So these are custom molded with a universal in your monitor system. The KZ-AS10s are what's in here. So there are 5 drivers in here. And they gave me an impression kit. I did my own impressions, sent them, and they made these custom molded to my ears, and they are fantastic. So if you got a mid to high range universal in-ear monitor, and you want to have it custom molded, they will do it, and it's not that expensive. I'm gonna tell you that. So definitely check them out, Alien Ears. Let's see here. Oh, something else I wanted to show you. Well, not really show you, but tell you about is my tuning technique. And I got to give a big shout out to Rob Brown for showing. He's got a YouTube video channel. Go check him out, Rob Brown. He's the man, and his technique on tuning drums is simple, easy, and takes no time at all. But just doing the technique, you get real nice fat sounding toms very easily. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna cut that off here, guys. We're approaching over 25 minutes now. So again, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.